Improve your English with powerful stories. Follow the subtitles, practice your listening, and dive into emotional journeys. Let's begin.
My name is Jake, and this is the story of the day I learned to fly. Not like a bird or a superhero, but the kind of flying that happens when you hit rock bottom and have no choice but to rise again. It was a rainy October afternoon, and I was walking home from my part-time job at the grocery store. My life back then felt like a broken record: school, work, repeat. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. The only thing that made me feel alive was running. I was on the track team, and every time I raced, I felt free, like nothing could stop me. But that day, everything changed. I was halfway home when I saw it, a little dog, soaking wet and trembling under a parked car. Its eyes were wide with fear, and I could hear it whimpering. Without thinking, I crouched down and called to it, "Hey, buddy, it's okay, come here." That's when I heard the screech of tires. I turned my head and saw a car skidding toward me on the wet road. Time slowed down. I tried to move, but my feet slipped on the pavement. The last thing I remember is the sound of the crash, and then nothing. When I woke up, I was in a hospital bed. My leg was in a cast, and my dreams of becoming a runner were shattered. The doctor said I was lucky to be alive. Lucky, that word didn't mean much to me when I looked down at my leg, wrapped in a heavy cast. "You might never run again," one of them said. His voice was calm, like he was telling me the weather forecast, but those words hit me like a punch to the chest. 4 weeks, I was stuck in that hospital bed, staring at the ceiling and wondering what my life would be like without running. My friends visited at first. They brought me snacks and told me stories about school and track meets, but after a while, they stopped coming. I guess they didn't know what to say to the kid who couldn't even walk. When I finally started physical therapy, it was brutal. Every step felt like a battle. My leg was weak, and the pain was constant. I hated the crutches. They made me feel helpless. Ms. Rivera, my physical therapist, was the only one who didn't treat me like I was broken. She pushed me hard, but she also believed in me. One day, after another frustrating session, she handed me a pair of swimming goggles. "If you can't run, maybe you can swim," she said. I laughed. "Swim? I can barely walk." But Ms. Rivera didn't back down. "You're stronger than you think, Jake. Sometimes, you just need to find a different way to move forward." I didn't believe her at first, but something about her confidence made me curious. Maybe, just maybe, there was still a way for me to feel that freedom again. The first time I got into the pool, I felt like a fish out of water, literally. My legs were weak, and my arms felt like they were made of lead. I could barely make it halfway across the pool without gasping for air. But Ms. Rivera was there, cheering me on like I was winning an Olympic gold medal. "You're doing great, Jake. Just focus on your breathing," she said, standing at the edge of the pool. I wanted to give up. My body ached, and my pride was bruised, but something inside me kept pushing. Maybe it was the way the water felt against my skin, soft, but powerful. Or maybe it was the look in Ms. Rivera's eyes, like she could see something in me that I couldn't see in myself. So, I kept going. Every day after school, I went to the pool. At first, I could only do 1 lap, then 2, then 5. Each lap felt like a small victory, a reminder that I was still capable of more than I thought. The water became my sanctuary, a place where I could forget about my broken leg and just focus on moving forward. One day, Ms. Rivera handed me a stopwatch. "Let's see how fast you can go," she said. I hesitated. "What if I'm not fast enough?" She smiled. "It's not about being fast, Jake. It's about being brave enough to try." That day, I swam my first timed lap. It wasn't impressive, not even close. But when I looked up at Ms. Rivera, she was beaming. "You're getting stronger," she said. Her words stuck with me. I started setting goals for myself, small ones at first, like swimming 10 laps without stopping, then bigger ones, like improving my time or mastering a new stroke. Every time I reached a goal, I felt a little more like myself again. One afternoon, after a particularly good session, Ms. Rivera sat me down. "There's a local swimming competition next month," she said. "I think you're ready." I stared at her, my heart racing. "A competition? Me?" She nodded. "You've come so far, Jake. This could be your chance to see just how much you're capable of." I didn't know what to say. Part of me was terrified, but another part, a part one hadn't felt in a long time, was excited. For the first time since the accident, I felt like I had something to look forward to. The day of the competition arrived, and I was a nervous wreck. My stomach was in knots, and my hands wouldn't stop shaking. The pool looked bigger than I remembered, and the other swimmers seemed so confident. What was I even doing here? Ms. Rivera found me pacing by the locker room. "Hey," she said, placing a hand on my shoulder. "You've got this." I shook my head. "What if I embarrass myself? What if I come in last?" She smiled. "It doesn't matter where you finish, Jake. What matters is that you're here, trying. That's already a win." Her words calmed me down, a little. When it was time for my race, I walked to the starting block, my heart pounding. The whistle blew, and I dove into the water. The first few laps were a blur. My arms and legs moved on autopilot, and I focused on my breathing, just like Ms. Rivera had taught me. But halfway through the race, the fatigue hit me hard. My muscles burned, and my lungs felt like they were on fire. I wanted to stop, to give up, but then I remembered why I was here. This wasn't just about swimming. It was about proving to myself that I could rise again, no matter how hard I fell. I pushed through the pain, lap after lap, until I finally touched the wall at the end of the race. I looked up at the scoreboard, gasping for air. I hadn't won, not even close, but I had finished. Ms. Rivera was waiting for me, at the edge of the pool, her eyes shining with pride. "You did it, Jake," she said. And for the first time in a long time, I believed her. That day, I learned something important. Sometimes, you have to fall before you can fly. Life knocked me down, but it also gave me the chance to rise again. Swimming didn't just heal my body, it healed my spirit. It taught me that no matter how hard things get, there's always a way forward. You just have to keep moving. I didn't become a professional swimmer, and I never ran another race, but that's okay. What I gained was so much more. I found a new passion, a new strength, and a new way to see myself. I wasn't just the kid who got hit by a car, or the kid who couldn't run anymore. I was Jake, the kid who didn't give up. Now, when I look back at that rainy October day, I don't see it as the day my life fell apart. I see it as the day I learned to fly. It wasn't easy, and it wasn't pretty, but it was worth it, because sometimes, the hardest moments in life are the ones that shape us the most. So, if you're going through something tough right now, remember this: you're stronger than you think. You might feel broken, but you're not. You're just in the process of becoming something new. And when you're ready, you'll rise again, because that's what we do. We fall, we learn, and we fly.
Thank you so much for joining me today and practicing your English with this powerful story. I hope it inspired you and reminded you of the strength we all have to overcome challenges. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might need to hear this story. Your support means the world to me. Remember, every story has the power to change us. Keep practicing your English, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and keep learning.